Hello, everybody, and welcome to iReadit, bringing you your daily dose of the internet for Monday, November 20th, 2017. I am Michael Juan.
And I'm Nathan Wood.
Please remember, everyone, you can help support our show by going to patreon.com/dailyinternet. In addition, we do go live Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. Alaska time on Facebook and YouTube. If you have a story that you would like us to talk about, please send it to our subreddit, which is iReaditcast, or in an email, which is feedback.ireddit@gmail.com. Nathan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah?
I had cross-trained over in DV this morning, so it was super easy. I just got to sit there in a hearing and watch how in-courting happens, and that was pretty fun. And I watched a man angrily storm out of the courtroom before his
Hearing?
judgment was fully over.
Oh. Why?
It was for DV.
Do we know?
It was for DV, and he really disagreed with the protective order being in place from his daughter.
Oh, well, don't do things.
I mean, it sucks to suck.
Yeah, don't do things that get you in trouble then.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
So, yeah. And then after that, he angrily ran over to the Nesbitt, yelling out that he's going to open up a custody case. What he doesn't realize is that the same judge is going to hear them regardless, because the cases get lumped together.
cool. Well, like you said, sucks to suck. How was your weekend?
It was all right. I finished Stranger Things. It was really good.
Yeah, season 2 rocked.
Yeah, it was it was really, really great, and it made a character go from like the most hated character to easily the best character in that entire show.
Is that like the teenager skinny guy?
Yeah, Steve Harrington.
Yeah.
That kid in the original script was written as make him the douchebaggiest douchebag ever.
And
But people really liked him, so they gave him a redemption arc in season 2. They build him as a really big heel in season 1, and then in season 2 they turn him babyface.
Is he Kit Harington's little brother, or is that just a coincidence?
No, that's not the actor's name. That's the character's name.
Oh, okay. Well, disappointing.
Yeah, no, he was fan-fucking-tastic. Easily the best character in that entire fucking season. And, I even really enjoyed, Batman, but, Batman was not nearly as good.
Oh, shit. Now, Kit Harington, does he have siblings? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Yes, he does. He has a single brother named John.
John.
Yep.
That's ironic.
John Harrington.
Because he plays John.
Trying to pull up a picture of him now out of sheer curiosity.
I wonder if people yell out John and they both turn.
All right, this is a rabbit hole that's going to take a little bit more digging, because John Harrington was apparently a courtier that lived in the 1500s. So, never mind.
No, it's the same guy.
Same dude, 100%. Everyone in Hollywood is immortal.
Yeah.
It's just what they fancied.
Absolutely.
It's just what they fancied recently.
Absolutely. People are, it's finally coming forth,
Celebrities don't actually die. They just fade away for a while, a la Highlander.
It's like they're a star, right? That's what
Yeah.
they call them, stars. So they burn out, and then they eventually just pop back in.
Exactly. All right, let's get into
Second
some news.
supernova.
Wait, I set up the iPad, but I didn't plug it in.
Yeah.
Ow.
Oh,
Yeah, that was an awful sound, wasn't it?
10,
Jeffrey Tambor exits Transparent after sexual harassment allegations.
this was submitted by the Iceman 2288 to our television.
By the way, so open up this article real quick.
article, English first language.
Jeffrey Tambor in this picture, this just looks like Chevy Chase to me.
What? No.
Yes.
Click open, damn it.
Yeah, open it up.
Oh, God. I'm going to be redirected back to the article in about 8 seconds.
Yeah, I know, because their website's awful. In any case, so he's been playing. Jeffrey Tambor has been.
Wow. Okay.
Y-
I can see it.
Does that? Yeah, that looks like Chevy Chase, doesn't it?
A little bit.
Enough bit, especially. Well, I also
feel like they both kind of just have always kind of look like each other.
Sure. I also just got done watching Community, in which that's how Chevy Chase looked through all of Community. So.
Well, okay, yeah, that'll definitely.
In any case, so Jeffrey Tambor was playing a transgender character on the show called Transparent, all of which I had never heard of. Transparent was supposed to go on to another season, but it looks like he is no longer going to be playing Mara Pfefferman because of sexual harassment claims by one of his co-stars.
Okay. Do we know which co-star?
Yes. Let me find the person's name because I suck at names. Where'd it go? You might find it before I do.
I'm not even in the article anymore.
You're not even in the article anymore. Well, damn.
I was hoping you had that ready, you know.
Yeah, well, you know, I did all the way up until you asked. Soloway. What's Soloway's first name? Where? Jill Soloway. There we go. Got there, fam.
Congrats.
Yeah, I don't know who that is either. But that also doesn't terribly matter either.
Yeah, because, I mean, he shouldn't have been doing it in the first place.
Yeah, don't be a jerk.
Even though it does kind of matter because, you know, it was done to that person.
Well, yeah, I mean, it didn't matter whether that person had any clout or was anyone important or not. They gained their importance by being the person that was harassed.
Yeah, no. I didn't know he was one of the people who had sexual allegations against him.
These just came out and were the first ones for him. So, I mean, Nathan, do me a quick favor and Google to see if someone has compiled a list yet, because I'm curious how many names is on that list. Because
okay.
I bet it's huge. In any case, this is kind of being like one of the Louis C.K. versions of where he didn't say that he didn't do it, just said that he's sorry that you took it the wrong way.
Let's see, when was this list made? November 10th.
So about 10 days ago. So we need to add about 15 names to that. But
oh no, it's up to November 20th here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we're gonna start way back here. October 5th, Harvey Weinstein.
That's how way back October, literally 6 weeks ago. Got it.
Right.
Okay.
So October 5th, Harvey Weinstein.
Okay.
6th, Andy Signor. Signor? I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Sure.
Then Roy Price.
Mm-hmm.
Then Chris Savino. That was Roy Price, October 12th, October 17th, Chris Savino. October 19th, both Lockhart Steele and Robert Scoble. Which, you know, these names seem kind of vague to me. I don't really know them. It definitely helps that who they are is like right under the name. Do you want me to say those two?
Who are those two?
Those two, editorial director of Vox Media for Lockhart Steele, and then tech blogger and co-founder of the Transformation Group, Robert Scoble.
Okay.
October 21st, John Besh, chief executive of the Besh Restaurant Group. October 22nd, James Toback, writer and director. October 23rd, Terry Richardson, fashion photographer. October 24th, Leon Weiselter, the former editor of The New Republic. October 25th, Knight Landesman, publisher of Art Forum. October 26th, Ken Baker, E! News correspondent. Mark Halperin, NBC News and MSNBC contributor and author of Game Change. And then Rick Najera, director of CBC's Diversity Showcase, all on 26th. Kevin Spacey on the 29th.
Jesus.
He's an actor.
Okay.
October 30th, Hamilton Fish, president and publisher of The New Republic. On October 31st, Kurt Webster, music publicist, Andy Dick, actor, and Michael Oresquez, head of news and at NPR and former New York Times editor. Then we have November 1st, Jeff Hoover, Kentucky Speaker of the House, and Brett Ratner, producer and director. November 3rd is David Guillard, co-chief executive, Primary Wave Entertainment Agency. November 7th, we have Ed Westwick, who is an actor. November 8th, we have Benjamin Ganocchio, who is the executive director of the Armory Show Art Fair, and Jeffrey Tambor, who is the actor, who we were just talking about.
Yeah.
November 9th, we have Louis C.K., comedian, producer, and Roy Moore, Alabama judge and politician.
Yeah.
November 10th, we have Eddie Berganza, who is the editor at DC Comics, and Andrew Kreisberg, who is the executive producer of Arrow, Supergirl, and The Flash.
Depressed.
November 13th, we have Steve Juvertson, co-founder of a venture capital firm and board member of Tesla and SpaceX. November 16th, we have Al Franken, U.S. Senator. November 20th, we have Charlie Rose, television host, and Glenn Thrush, reporter at the New York Times.
So I don't remember if that was 25 or if that was 22 or 27. It was one of those. Oh, God. Everything sucks everywhere. Awesome. Not terrible. Cool. That list is just going to keep getting bigger, too.
Yep. And it's going to continue to get bigger until all of them have been exposed.
9.
There we go. Got there. Texas woman killed after non-impaired driver taking breathalyzer test hits her.
This was submitted by Runs in Jeans to R. Not the Onion.
Alexis Butler, 18 years old, was pulling out of her driveway on Friday when a driver who, as part of required from the court order, like, you have to do a breathalyzer test to start the vehicle, and then you have to do them periodically while you are traveling, which you are supposed to pull over to do them. He did not. He leaned over to do his breathalyzer so that he could keep driving, took his eyes off the road to do so, didn't see her pull out of her driveway, straight into her.
That hurts my soul.
Yep.
How fucking stupid, dude.
Yep.
Oh, God. And you weren't even intoxicated.
Nope.
That's what fucking R. Not the Onion does. It just makes you just go, and have like a fucking aneurysm.
Well, yeah. And I mean, they're going to be looking into it anyway. They're going to be reconstructing the crash. I mean, it's a very just tragic situation altogether. So.
That's a shit situation, and like, goddamn, dude. You couldn't just wait a little bit longer before pulling out?
I mean, the machine might not let you. It might just cut the vehicle's power off. It really depends on how the machine is implemented, so. I mean, I
don't know. Actually, I don't know how those are implemented. I deal with people trying to pay for them all the time.
The breathalyzers?
Yeah.
Because do they have to, like, rent them or something?
Pretty much. They have to go to an interlock device area, which they will get as the breathalyzer, or ASAP is another place that you can get them at, and they install it in your vehicle, and you have to pay for the installation and everything, but you can take all your ASAP and interlock fees and bring them in, and as long as it's not a state case or a felony OUI, I think it is, then you should be fine.
Do you also take people's payments for the ankle monitors? Or is that through somebody else?
They have to pay. So ankle monitoring is interesting. So when you are ordered by court to do an ankle monitor, there are several court-approved areas or court-approved agencies in town that will that you can use for ankle monitoring.
Okay.
And you have to pay them per week that you have the ankle monitor on.
Okay.
Usually it's like $200 a week. There are several places in town that aren't court-approved, and if you go there, you will waste your money.
Okay.
You know how many times I have to deal with, on average a week, people coming in using the wrong ankle monitor place?
13.
It used to be like none. Now it's close to like 2 or 3.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Which is kind of surprising.
8.
San Juan mayor outperforming Trump in Times Person of the Year poll.
This is submitted by Mac and Cheese on your knees to our politics.
Wait, what just happened?
Dude, I had some delicious ass mac and cheese this weekend.
Did you?
Yeah.
We were gonna have mac and cheese for dinner until I threw out the last of the butter yesterday. Anyway, on to the article. Carmen Cruz, who is the current mayor of San Juan, is not winning the poll for Times Person of the Year, but she is beating Donald Trump, which is the true relevance of the article. Right now, she has garnered 31% of the vote up against Donald Trump, who has 29%. The actual winning, it's not a person, but the winning thing for the Person of the Year is the Me Too campaign.
Wait, that's winning for Person of the Year?
Yep. Currently, Taylor Swift is actually at 33%, and Me Too is at 39%.
I didn't know you can vote for Me Too.
I didn't either. Apparently, German Chancellor Angela Merkel is at 11%, which
that's cool.
This also adds up to like way more than 100%. So you must be
Maybe
able
you
to,
can vote for more than one thing.
more than one person. I guess so.
Yeah.
So
You know who should really win that vote?
who?
Jason Momoa, since he didn't win Sexiest Man.
Dude, the internet had a heyday with that, didn't they?
Dude, Blake Shelton is so gross compared to him.
You know, even if you didn't give Jason Momoa the sexiest man alive, Blake Shelton would not have been the next person I thought of.
No, obviously not. Who the fuck seriously sits there, looks at all of these hot-ass dudes literally everywhere, and go, you know what? Blake Shelton.
I'm trying to see, does this give a quick, easy list? Okay, Blake Shelton was this year. Last year was The Rock.
That's understandable.
The year before that was Adam Levine.
Also understandable. Wow. Very wide taste in men, but yeah.
Before that was Johnny Depp. Before that was Hugh Jackman. Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
George Clooney.
Okay.
Matthew McConaughey. All of these are winning against Blake Shelton. Like,
yo, I want to see a separate compiled list right next to it of all of the sexiest men of the year who are also sexual offenders.
oh, I don't want to see that list. Jude Law. I'm going to go for a couple more. Johnny Depp again.
Oh, God, Jude Law gets me so fucking hard literally every time.
Ben Affleck. Pierce Brosnan. Brad Pitt. Harrison Ford. George Clooney. Denzel Washington. Brad Pitt again. Richard Gere and Cindy Crawford.
But simultaneously?
Yep.
Okay.
If I had to take a quick guess, I'm betting that Richard Gere said, "I'm not accepting this unless you put my wife on there too." Nick Nolte, all right, yeah, and Patrick Swayze, one last for 1990, and that is Tom Cruise.
Not even Gwen Stefani would pick him. No.
No, who would ever pick Blake Shelton? That is not a person that I. Yeah, McLaughlin, chat room. Where is Chris Pratt? Again, that wins. That wins a lot.
Why would we vote for a crispy rat?
Like, any of the Chris's from Hollywood. I'll take any of them.
Hemsworth.
Evans.
Hemsworth.
Friggin'
I
Pine.
would even. All right.
I'll even take Pine over Shelton.
I would even take Mark Ruffalo.
Sure.
And that dude's kind of old.
Yeah, well, I mean, Johnny Depp won 2 years ago. The dude is like 54.
Yeah, but for some reason, people have weird boners for that man.
A lot of people our mother's age have massive, not even weird, just massive lady boners for Johnny Depp.
And even man boners.
Sure. So, just keep on. We'll turn this into a top 10 show, shall we?
7,
Terry Crews says Russell Simmons asked him to give target of sexual assault allegations a pass.
Submitted by Pot Kettleman to our news.
Yeah, didn't go over so well.
Terry,
yeah, Terry Crews posted on Sunday a screenshot of an email that was from Russell Simmons that urged the actor to give the person that he is accusing of sexual assault a pass, and he basically said, "Why would I do that?" Responding saying, "I will not be shamed. I did nothing wrong. It was foul to the core, and it still shocks me."
I want to see this fucking email. I want to read this.
It is just a real short. Said, did he ever apologize? Give the agent a pass. Ask that he be reinstated. With great love, all things are possible. That's the entirety of it.
Yeah, that guy can go fuck himself.
Yeah, that's how most other people feel, too. I mean, now, the funny thing is that Russell Simmons himself, has also been accused of sexual assault, of coercing model Carrie Klossman Kalighi, that was hard, at the age of 17 to perform oral sex on him back in 1991. While Brett Ratner, someone else that has also been recently accused of sexual assault, watched.
Outed, if you will.
Yep.
God damn.
Jennifer in the chat room says, even Chris Rock, sure. Over Blake Shelton?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Like, yeah, again, no.
I would agree with Terry Crews. Ain't no one allowed to touch your privates, whether it be a hang down or a pocket.
Or even Terry Crews.
Yeah, or Terry Crews.
Yeah. Nate, you all right there, Nathan?
That chocolate man.
You ready for a big old dose of irony?
Oh, I got a sweet tooth.
6,
President Trump called...
This is not irony, first of all, but continue.
President Trump called elephant hunting a horror show on Sunday and suggested he will permanently block imports of elephant trophies from 2 African nations, despite his administration's earlier approval of the practice.
This is submitted by Matt as a Hatter to Our World News. This is not irony. This is bipolar disorder.
It's not bipolar. What this is so you know how we talk about politicians being incredibly disconnected with their constituents? This is a man who is incredibly disconnected from his own administration that doesn't even know what it's doing at times.
I feel like they purposely leave him out of things because he asks to be left out of them. Because
Probably, maybe. I mean, and we know that he will sign things without reading it or knowing what it is.
Yeah. He's just a moldy butthole.
Really?
Yeah, a very moldy butthole. He's got, like, black mold all around his brown spot.
Covered with Cheeto dust?
I don't know if they go that far when it comes to spray tans, dude. You think they would just spread your butt cheeks and just spray right down the crack? Like, that sounds weird.
I mean, if you pay enough money, yes, they will.
I wonder if a spray tan is cold or warm and what it feels like to have a spray tan on your butt cheeks.
You know what? I'll pass. I will pass.
Because that sounds like a very sensitive area.
Trump says he should have left American basketball players arrested in jail.
This was submitted by Warp D to Our Politics.
So
what a petty dickhead.
Well, we had talked last week about the 3 American basketball players that got put into prison for stealing from a Vogue store while they were in China. They were put in prison and were facing up to a prison sentence of 10 years. Apparently, Donald Trump made a call to the president of China, Mr. Xi, and whatever happened, and the gentlemen were released and returned to America. But... And all 3 of them made public praise, gratitude. That's the word I'm looking for. Publicly made their gratitude known for Donald Trump getting them out of China and getting them out of trouble. But one of the basketball players' fathers had something to say.
It was the father of LiAngelo Ball.
Yeah, LeVar Ball.
Fucking, the ball is goddamn life, you know what I'm saying?
Well... Yeah, he criticized Trump, and Trump took it very poorly and basically said he should have just left him in jail.
Yeah, no, it's like they kept asking him what he felt about Trump helping him out, and he's like, what, who, what? No, that man didn't help us out.
Well, that was the father. All 3 of the actual basketball players were extremely gracious to not be locked up in China.
Not being fucking locked up in China.
So
yeah, no, that's understandable being gracious to not have been locked up in China. But
yeah,
like you're allowed to express any one of your fucking opinions, and sure, the president's allowed to express his opinion, but holy goddamn, is that fucking incredibly petty of you.
Mm-hmm. Yep, sure is. Well, I got nothing. Wrong button. Yeah, right. Yep, that is the wrong button. Mm-hmm. Quite literally, it is labeled wrong. Yep. Okay.
4.
Victims told not to report Jehovah's Witness child abuse.
This is submitted by Grepnork to Our World News.
So, basically, to summarize this, there's several cases that are being talked about and outlined here about victims of child abuse within the Jehovah's Witness religious sect, and basically saying that you need to not report that because if you do, it could get the church in trouble and it could get your family removed from the religion.
Wow.
Yep.
Fuck. They're covering it up just like the goddamn Scientologists.
Yep.
I fucking hate the Scientologists.
Yes, you do. You passionately hate them.
They are awful, awful, evil people.
I won't disagree with you. I've not heard any one positive thing from Scientology.
I will tell you one positive thing about Scientology. Are you ready?
Yep.
Made a hilarious-ass South Park episode.
Sure. Anything else? No? Okay. I didn't think so. Donald Glover, who grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, absolutely despises them.
I can understand. A lot of people who are being forced into a certain way of living usually tend to hate that way afterwards.
And basically he said that they're all really terrible people.
I can also fucking imagine. I had Jehovah's Witnesses come to my house several times.
Yeah, how'd that go?
So the first time they came to my house, right? They knocked on the door, and I made the mistake of talking to them.
Oh, Nathan.
So I opened the door, and they say that they're Jehovah's Witnesses, and I was like, hey, I got a question. And they're like, yeah! And they, like, perk up, because, you know, it's a Jehovah's Witness. And I was like, so how do you feel about, the way that the Jehovah's Witnesses are being persecuted as an extremist group in Russia? And, you know, she had the typical, oh, we're not an extremist group, I absolutely hate it, blah, 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 blah. She got really happy, though, that I was talking to them, so she left. About a week later, she came back with another friend of hers, and they started talking to me, and they were like, all right, so do you believe in God? And I was like, no, actually, I'm fairly atheistic. She was like, well, what do you believe that happens after you die? And I was like, well, I believe that after we die, we just kind of blink out, like out of existence. We're no longer here. Our consciousness is gone. Our body will dissolve and go away. And she's like, that's kind of a bleak way. He too was like, that's kind of a bleak way to look at things. And I was like, actually, no, I find comfort in the sweet embrace of the void one day. And that way I don't have to be around people. And they were like, oh,
well, have a good day.
Okay. Well, here's this book, and it talks more about God. If you have any, questions about it, and there's a bit of an excerpt in there from an Asian gamer friend of ours who had converted to Jehovah's Witnesses, and I feel like you could really connect on there. And I was like, okay, I'll read this. And they're like, all right, well, have a good day. And I hadn't seen them since.
Good job, buddy.
But I absolutely love the Call of the Void. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, it's a real thing for everybody, even if they don't realize what it is.
It's fun because you're like, man, I am going insane. I'm constantly telling myself I should throw myself in front of traffic. That's fun.
Call's just a little bit stronger for you, apparently.
3.
Trump campaign coordinator and family values Republican pleads guilty to sex trafficking and faces life in prison.
This was submitted by Wandering Socrates to Our Politics.
God damn it. The non-stop, man. Non-stop. Not that I'm complaining about the Me Too movement. I don't mind talking about this over and over again because it's important and it needs to be made.
Absolutely.
Like, it needs to be addressed because, good God, but the sheer amount is baffling.
It's almost like 2 to 3 people daily.
Yeah. So this is about Ralph Shorty, who's a former Oklahoma...
Shorty!
Good job, Oklahoma. Former Oklahoma State Senator and county campaign coordinator for the president. He's going to plead guilty to child sex trafficking after he was accused of soliciting sex from a 17-year-old. Why would he plead guilty? Well, one, they got a lot of evidence in the matter, and two, him pleading guilty to the child sex trafficking gets them to drop 3 counts of child pornography against him.
Wow, so he could have been charged with a lot worse.
Yeah. I mean, he still faces up to life in prison from the child sex trafficking.
Yeah, well, yeah. As well he should.
Yeah. It's a minimum of 10 years.
That's not enough time. He needs to be in there a lot longer than a minimum of 10.
Well, I mean, he hasn't been sentenced or anything yet, but that's the minimum he can get.
I swear to God, if he gets the minimum, I'm going to be really upset.
The bigger problem with minimums is when it's like 10 years, but they can get out after like 3.
On parole, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I think parole's kind of bullshit. There's a lot of people get out on parole that really shouldn't.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It depends on like what you went in for, and like there's some things that it might not be such a bad idea to let them out on parole, but there's some things that's like I don't think you should come out. You should stay there.
Yeah, and just kind of rot and die.
2.
Charles Manson dead after spending 46 years behind bars.
Whoa! Speaking of good South Park episodes, this is submitted by Pocket Pinball to our news. What?
Yep, he dead.
That's crazy.
Which, it's funny. Not funny?
He was my second favorite cult leader.
I'm going to go with funny. It's entertaining. So, he died from internal hemorrhaging. He died from internal bleeding. And they knew about it a year ago. But he had gotten so old and so frail, because he died at 83, that they couldn't perform the operation on him to prevent it, to fix it. So, since he was too weak to do the surgery, he was going to die no matter what. But they expected him to die after a couple months, and he lived an entire another year.
Damn. That's the power of evil magic for you.
I suppose.
No, but yeah, he's my second favorite cult leader.
And the first being?
Aleister Crowley.
Oh, I was really hoping that you said, we're going to say, shit, what's his name?
L. Ron Hubbard?
No,
the guy who made Scientology?
Jeff Osteen.
Oh, no.
That's who I was hoping you'd say.
That's pretty good, though.
Yeah. So he has passed away. Charles Manson, the leader of the Manson family, that were a group of serial killers that went out and killed several people. One of the most notable of which was an actress by the name of Sharon Tate.
Roman Polanski's wife at the time.
Yep, and she was 9 months pregnant.
Roman Polanski is the fucking child rapist, right?
I don't.
I'm pretty sure Roman Polanski is now hiding out in Europe because in like the 80s or 90s he ran away from a case.
Yep, you are correct. 1978 involving sexual assault against a 13-year-old.
Yep, I was gonna say 14. I was close.
You were
Roman
close.
Polanski is also a dickbag.
Yeah.
Makes great movies, unfortunately, but also quite a dickbag.
Well, there's at least a large number of people that get to breathe a little bit easier now. Because just knowing that he was still alive is one of those things that just people, like, it weighs on their mind. There's so much
tension because, like, people still idolize him.
Which is so messed up.
Funny story, though. People on Twitter,
yeah.
They took to Twitter confusing Charles Manson for Marilyn Manson.
Yep.
And they were so sad and pined for him, you know? Which is kind of funny because Marilyn Manson got part of his name from Charles Manson.
Yep.
It's Marilyn as in Marilyn Monroe, and Manson as in Charles Manson.
Mm-hmm.
1.
Massive investigation reveals Ivanka's business ties to a Russian fraudster in a deal for a Panama hotel.
Oh, this is submitted by Sahar1217 to Our World News.
It's not much right now. It's more of because they're still digging for more information. So basically what we're looking at is that Ivanka did a business deal for a massive hotel in Panama for the Trump family, the Trump Foundation, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, and it's not a hotel in terms of like what they normally have. This was actually a large building that was going to be full of apartments that were then going to be sold. So it was, we're going to build this and sell it, and we'll make money, once and then move on with our days. They reportedly made around $20 million from the construction and the sale of the building.
Damn.
Now, one of the largest people that invested in this building was a gentleman named Alexander Ventura Nogueira. And they don't have the exact number, somewhere between 33 to 50% of the entire project's cost was covered by him. And it isn't that Ivanka or anything with the actual construction of the building was bad, but a lot of their money came from this guy, and now they're finding out that a ton of this dude's money came from illegitimate sources.
Oh, what kind? Like drugs?
Drug trafficking, money laundering, the bad stuff.
The criminal activities?
Yeah, so.
But, it's only, like the fucking Clintons that are that evil, right? The Trumps could never possibly be that evil.
Dude, the Clintons are super bad too.
They are,
like,
don't get me wrong, but like anyone
bad.
who defends the Trumps after, condemning the Clintons need to seriously rethink themselves.
The question now is, did Ivanka and the rest of the committee behind this building know? And if so, what should be done from there?
Dude, I hope they know. But, that's me, kind of hoping people get incriminated.
Sure. So, and, like, in terms of, like, this dude, it's so bad for him. Although it's not terribly relevant in terms of things. It's just a bad dude that finally got caught doing bad stuff. Including, like, recordings of him straight up saying that the money came from drug deals. So, like... and
that's a dead giveaway.
Not just one recording either. They have 5 of them. Like, you got some balls, dude. Like, some serious balls to just be chatting about it.
Yeah, like, in open. Not like, discreet, even.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit! One of 2 listener submissions. The first, mumps outbreak in Alaska.
This was submitted by Athena Latina to our iReadit cast.
Yeah. Did you know we got mumps spreading around up here, buddy?
Yes, I do.
Mumps? What?
Yeah, it happened, I want to say it happened also last year.
Dumb.
Because I want to say there was mumps spreading around when I was working at the Boys and Girls Club.
That is awful and terrible and not cool. There's no reason that a mump should be going around anywhere.
Yeah, there's also no reason why bed bugs should be fucking more prevalent than they've ever been ever.
Ugh. So yeah,
you can catch bed bugs from the craziest shit. You can be sitting down on a bus, boom, bed bugs. You can go to a public office like the DMV or where I work, sit down for like a half second, boom, bed bugs. Which
like people, I have one person in my office that raises their eyebrow at me when I spend 30 minutes sanitizing my office.
Dude, I sanitize the shit out of everything I touch because everyone there is fucking disgusting.
And I'm like, yeah, we're the reason. I am the reason that we buy sanitizing wipes every time it's time to do procurement purchases. Like, because I go through them, because people be nasty.
Absolutely. If you work in a spot where you are around public constantly and public is like touching your shit and you are not cleaning that stuff, then you are a disgusting human being.
Agreed.
I'm not gay!
Highland Mountain Lullaby Project aims to change narratives around women in prison with lullabies for their children.
This is submitted by Athena Latina to our iReadit cast.
Highland Mountain is a all-female... I'm not sure... It's a rehabilitation center, isn't it?
Which one?
The Highland Mountain Correctional Facility. That's what it's called.
I don't know.
Anyway, and this is actually the story of one particular woman that went there, and she's trying to do better by herself. She had a really big drug problem. She's trying to get over the drug problem, and one of the ways that she has found that she's able to do that is by writing a song for the child that she doesn't get to see because she got thrown into a correctional facility for doing drugs. And she's doing a lot better now, and the way that she did that was by trying to write songs for her children. And so they're taking that and are trying to expand that to give that as a direction for other women to try to rehabilitate themselves.
That's amazing.
If it works.
Yeah, if it does.
And the other thing is like, it worked for one person, which means it can work for more. And the only thing that makes me sad about this is that if it doesn't have a high enough success rate, that it'll probably go ignored, which is unfortunate because if it works at all, it should be attempted, I feel like, in most cases.
Yeah, absolutely. At least test it out more.
Yeah.
Sure, there could have been variables that caused its success in the first place, but like, find out what those variables are and try and replicate them.
Hey, Nathan.
I'm Mr. Meeseeks! Look at me!
What'd you care about in the last 72 hours?
A couple things.
Your beard's getting long, bro.
What?
Your beard is getting long.
I need to trim it slightly. There on the bottom part, one side is slightly longer than the other, and so I need to like cut maybe that much. I finished Stranger Things, and I had an idea for a D&D game in a different book. It's not D&D, it's that horror movie RPG book that I got, so I'm going to write a horror movie, and it's going to be centered around a quartet, which is a Stephen King term for a group of children who are there to serve the will of the Ka, which is like essentially like a deity.
Oh, okay.
And it's supposed to like prevent evil.
Cool.
So the people who roll are going to roll children, and they have to figure out. So what I've been doing this last weekend is I've been sitting there and looking up lesser known monsters from mythology, so that it'd be harder for them to figure out what it is. And it's going to start off kind of like Stranger Things. All of them are going to be sitting down playing a game of D&D. And then the game is going to break, and their party member that's a player that is an NPC is going to be walking home, and he's going to be murdered brutally, and they have to figure out how it happened.
Cool. Good luck.
Thank you. That's really what I cared about.
The thing I cared about in the last 72 hours happened Saturday, and ultimately I cared about roller derby because goddamn is this sport awesome. So there was a game of roller derby that happened Saturday night. Jennifer, you've seen her a few times on the show. She's my significant other. She skates for a team called Boomtown Derby Dames, and there is a link in the show notes if you would like to check them out. They played against the team that plays in Anchorage. Their home team, not their professional all-star travel team. It was called Orange Crush, and it was an incredible game. The entire crowd had really good energy, but the thing that made it truly memorable for years to come was that they started out and they had 3 brand new players, had never played in a game before.
Oh, nice.
And some of their veteran skaters were not able to skate for one reason or another, so they weren't at their top strength. And the entire game, the whole game, they were losing. And they were losing by somewhere between 5 to 30 points, and it kept on fluctuating. And it gets down to the very last jam, and they are down by 6 points when they've lost the entire game. And just go out there and absolutely crush it and win.
6 points? That's not much.
No, but losing the entire game and then going out and just taking full control, dominating and crushing it in the very last jam to win the entire game. It was friggin' amazing. It looked like something out of a movie.
I mean, the only movie with roller derby apparently was not good, so.
It's not that it wasn't good. It's just that it wasn't terribly accurate. Because you're talking about Whip It that has the chick from Juno in it, Elaine Page, that's it.
Ellen?
Sure.
Elaine is spelled E-L-A-I-N-E.
Ellen Page, whatever. And the problem with that movie is most derby now is played on flat track, which is you can play it in like a basketball court, where the movie is bank track, which has the old style derby where they have like the big ramps that you skate around the sides of. The other thing is it's more along the lines of renegade derby, where you can beat the shit out of each other, and that's even less common now. So it's not that it's a bad movie; it just showcases a very niche form of derby.
One that doesn't really get played?
It gets played. It's just not very prominent. Because you have to have the bank track, and those are huge and expensive, and you have to have a place to put them. And people don't want to go onto a track and get punched in the face and walk away with broken arms because,
Yeah, that, I can...
Because we have to go to work the next day. So... I mean, it's an enjoyable movie. It's just not great if you're wondering what derby is today.
Yeah, so it's just not accurate.
Yeah.
Anymore.
In any case, that's it, everybody. We're going to go and get out of here. Oh, one quick thing, actually, that I need to throw out here is that we will not have a show on Thursday. Thursday is Thanksgiving. Nathan's going to be going to his family. We're going to have a bunch of people over at our place, so we are not going to be having a show.
Wednesday is my birthday.
Wednesday's your birthday? Oh, my goodness. Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, so just a heads up there, we won't have a show on Thursday. Gonna get out of here, everybody. If you want to help support the show, please consider supporting us at patreon.com/dailyinternet. You can also follow and share us on social media, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube. Those are not social media. That's a different section of things. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's all the same. All of these things. All of those are at iReadit. So check us out. See what you want. If you can help us out in any way, even if it's just introducing the show to a friend. That is it, everybody. That is your 386th dose of the internet. I'm Michael Schwan.
And I'm Nathan Wood.
And please remember, everybody.
You make me sad.
Especially all you people that are making the Me Too campaign a thing, because y'all suck. You make me sad. All right, that's it, everybody. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.